how do you make sure software in the cloud works right for you? It's quite a different problem from getting what you want out of on-premise systems. Welcome to Firing Line. I'm Bill Kutik. On our program today, we're taking on the important issue of effective systems integration when you move to the cloud with two of the best young systems integrators, or SIs as they're called, I know. Jarret Pazahanick is managing partner of EIC Experts, and Luke Marson is chief cloud HCM architect at Hula Partners. Guys, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having us.
Surveys show that a lot of users are really unhappy with what they get at the end of the process of their software being live in their offices. Some surveys go to 9 out of 10 are unhappy, but I don't think that's a normal thing. What do you guys see as the most important problems that lead to that unhappiness, and what's causing them? Jarret?
Yeah, I think one of the dirty little secrets in the consulting world is that some software integrators are still overpromising. They're overestimating their expertise and experience to try to win new project work. And ultimately, when that happens, the customer's implementation can turn out to be the training grounds for a team of junior consultants, which is never a good thing. The great news for customers is that there's a new breed of consulting firms that really understand how to deploy cloud-based technology. They're doing so with smaller teams of more experienced consultants, and doing so with a combination of remote and on-site consulting. You know, a great example of this in action is a large retail customer of mine. They use 20 functional and technical consultants on their on-premise HR implementation many moons ago. They recently moved most of their HR function to the cloud and did so with a team of 5 consultants in what was a very successful implementation for them.
So the change in technology really results in a different process.
Yes.
Interesting. Luke, how do you think what these problems are and how they can be solved?
Customers are still approaching cloud implementations like on-premise implementations, even though they have a different makeup. I also think that some systems integrators, and to some extent some sales executives, are setting unrealistic expectations about the time that it takes to implement a cloud system. I mean, yes, they more agile methodologies, and yes, you can implement it more quickly, but I believe the real question is, should you? You know, you need to make sure that you have the right resources available throughout the projects at the right time. And let's not forget that customers also have a day job to do as well while they're implementing this huge technology system.
Well, you guys remember, it's probably only 5 years ago when more than a majority of people thought it was like buying a book on Amazon, right? That an implementation of an enterprise software product was typing in a URL and suddenly you'd have your HRMS cooking. And in fact, as you know, there are hundreds and thousands of decisions that have to be made, both by SIs like you, who are expert at it, and the people themselves. So sticking with you, Luke, what's the best advice you can give viewers about how they get the best value out of SIs?
So customers should research the applications and the technology that they're going to be implementing. They should be looking at a wide range of different systems integrators, not just the big brand names, but some of the more niche vendors that Jarret mentioned earlier. They should also be looking at doing the due diligence on their systems integrator. And I have an example recently from a pharmaceutical company that we were working with in the sales cycle, where they had asked us to speak to some of our customers. They had asked us how many implementations we'd done, how many certified consultants we had. They even went as far as asking for the names and resumes of all the people that were going to be on the project. You know, and I really like this approach because it meant that the customer was going to be able to get the right partner for them. And I think they made the right decision in the end that's going to lead them towards having a successful implementation.
Interesting. Jarret, how do you feel when someone puts you through that kind of inquisition and they're only a prospect?
No, I really like it because at the end of the day, I think that smart customers choose the right technology, they choose the right integrator, but more importantly, they put the right people on the project team. There's a great quote I like, and it goes, "People who don't know what they don't know are often the most dangerous people in the room."
Couldn't agree more.
Customers need to make sure that they put their best, their brightest, their most experienced resources on their project team. Ones that really understand the intersection between HR and IT and how it works today, but more importantly, how it needs to work best together in the future. A large pharmaceutical customer of mine is going down this journey right now. They've gotten a team of internal experts together, And they're not only trying to find which HR cloud vendor will be the best for them, but they're reviewing all their business processes. They realized we deployed on-premise technology 17 years ago. HR has changed, IT has changed, our business has changed, and they're really looking to find some lessons that when they do their implementation, they're going to be that much further ahead. What's very interesting is a lot of these same people will ultimately be on the project team, and they'll be responsible for a lot of the complex configuration, but they're going to be armed with the business knowledge to be able to make some of those tough business decisions that will ultimately determine how successful their implementation is.
I'm so glad you came by, guys, because I think too many people think of your work as something that they just outsource and they throw over the fence to you and they don't have to worry about it and you guys will just get it done. When in fact what you've been telling me is they have to be really involved from the beginning right up until the end. So thanks for coming by and sharing this with us. It was really good.
Thanks for having us.
Please join us in September for the next edition of Firing Line. Thank you for watching. I'm Bill Kutik.